So, yep, baler's done. Poop spreader's gone. It's greased and all put away for the winter. That's still to be greased. That's been pretty well cleaned. It'll probably get a bit of a service, but we still use that in the winter time. And this is getting cleaned, and then it'll get greased and then put away for the winter. But pardon me, I don't like snibbling on camera, but it's about 9 degrees right now. A little bit chilly, which is lovely for getting a lot of stuff done outside. So, what are you doing today, Piper Dog? This is what I'm doing. So one of the big things with these headers is there's consumables, which are blades and the bolts and things like that. And then long-term consumables on this thing are these individual gearboxes, which have started to go now, which is, really great. You buy the equipment back from the family and you get some stuff done, and then next thing stuff starts dropping off. But that's the price of equipment. That's the price of doing business. So yeah, we've done 3 or 4 gearboxes already. So there's 12 total, and they're 300 and something bucks a piece. So those are just the gearbox, this part, not that part. I think when that part goes, you have to change the whole cutter bar, which is about $6,000 or $7,000 to replace the whole cutter bar. But right now, as you can see, the turtles, which are the top caps, these are the hubs that go on top of the gearbox. The turtles are off right now because I'm going to put all new blades on, and then also ramps, the deflectors, which are these guys, they're all wearing out. These are hollow in here, and some of them have broke through. This outside one, because it doesn't get as much work as the inside ones, still in good shape. So I might get away with just leaving them, because it's a lot of business to take the ring and the cage and the shaft out to pull all that up, both ends, because this is double drive. See, that's the main pump, and then there's a secondary pump over there which run from both sides. So the plan is the 10 in here, I've got my plasma cutter. I'll cut out some sheets to lay over the top of those and weld right down onto them, and then that'll create a nice big, because that's what helps push the crop up and in to the crimper. So I'll rebuild them, put all new bolts in. See, these ones don't look so bad, but maybe I'll stick a picture in here. And that way you see those top bolts and all these ones, they're gooned. Like they're I'm gonna have to cut them off. Like I can't get a socket to work on them. Yeah, I'll build up those, and then I'll put all new blades and bolts on all of them. So what I'm doing here now, because I've done an initial clean of the header to get all of like the big crud out of here first, so at least I'm not having stuff fall down the back of my neck. So I've pulled all of the hubs off. So normally these are Loctite on, and for the most part you shouldn't really have to take these off, because as you look, the twine is down below the mating surface. See, this is the mating surface, and then there's the seal. So when these fit down onto them, that fits down to the mating surface. So it's really hard for anything to get in there, but I'm not taking that chance. This is the downside to having a disc bind versus sickle bar hay bind, because when you get something in one of these, it feeds it in. There's wire, I don't know where that wire came from because that's really thin. It's not fencing wire. I did have a big issue with, I found fencing wire earlier in the season and wrapped around all that stuff over there, and that's where you better free up an afternoon to get to work. So one of the other issues that I've been noticing through the season is, if you look back here, you'll see a tail. And then here, oh, point the camera, Doug. Here you see a lip. And then if you look up underneath, you see a skid plate. If you look here, there's no skid plate. And over there, no skid plate. So what you'll see back here are these bits of metal. There, there, one at the end, that one at the end there. So these skid plates, when they wear out, because they tuck in at the front, and I'm hoping you can see, they bolt in at the back. So the bolts hold them in, and then the front just sits up in here, so it kind of floats. They're all worn out. Like, it's got 2,500 hours on the machine, so there's probably fully at least 1,000 hours on this header. I would say probably closer to 1,200, but at least 1,000, just to be conservative. So yeah, I've got to get all new skids. I could build them, I suppose. If I have time, I'll try build them. I'll just take one of the good ones off and rebuild a whole set, because it's only that one, that, that. Weird, why? Yeah, because there's no bolts back there. So yeah, there's only 10. There's one missing there, and there's one missing out at the other end. Weird. So yeah, I've got them all to do. You can see here's another skid plate that's still good, and this one's still good. See, more twine, twine. And these, you can see the ones with green paint, those are the new ones. More twine there. And you'll notice this one. Now this had happened before we got the machine, and I noticed this. The bumper, the skid bumper on the front, was welded on this one. And last season or the season before, I hit a rock and it broke the welds. I have the part. The only issue is to take, because these are modular, like these big bolts. This section comes out, this section comes out. You can replace sections if you want. But to take this module out of here to cook it and weld it properly, I literally have to take the whole cutter bar apart. So I might just have a stab at heating it and putting a bunch of weld to it, seeing what I can do. But for the most part, it doesn't matter too much. It's got the skid on there, so it's protecting it most of the time. And I'm hoping by next year we'll have most of the rocks cleaned up in the field. This is the side that they did the big repair this year. You can see this tower. Yeah, the spline coupler from the pump down to the shaft stripped out, because it fixes up in there. It's stripped out. That was one of the big breakdowns we had. See, there's one of the tails sticking up. So yeah, you have to stick a bar in here to break all the Loctite loose. So that's where I'm at. Okay, I've rambled on long enough. I'm gonna have to try and dig all this twine out of here. I'll dig the twine out, and then I'll put the hubs back on so I can finish washing, because you need the hubs on there to seal the gearboxes up so you don't blow crap into them. Like I said, I think it's like 340 bucks a piece. Yeah, you don't want to be wasting these. So there you go. Next job, get it all done, get it all inside here, clean it, let the header down, wash the rest of the machine. Okay, I'll bring you back. Okay, that's all 10 of the centers done. I don't know if I'll take the outside ones apart. I'm still kind of wondering about that one. So yeah, just what was stuck underneath the hubs, under the turtles. So yeah, standard twine, all kinds, all ages, bit of net. It's like strap that plastic strapping for boxes. There you go. Barbed wire, as normal. Cable. That's a new one. And then this skinny high tensile wire. I don't know what that's off of. Maybe off of a tire bead, I think. Because I do cut highway, like roadsides. So that might be bead wire from a tire. So yeah. You only have to do it once a year. Just to check everything over. Once I clean it, I don't know if I'm going to pull the gearboxes up out and then check all the oil levels in those, because it's never been done. But any of the gearboxes that did come apart, when I did clean them out, they still had all their oil in them. None of them were low, even the ones that blew apart. So yeah, I don't know if I'll get to that. Big thing is to get this cleaned and then get all of these worn skid plates off, because I need those in the shop for the winter. That way, that once this is all stripped and all I need is off and gone, I can clean this guy, grease them, and put them to bed for the winter. So okay, on to the next part. We'll get this chucked away and then blast the rest of this clean, and then I can clean that and then get going. Okay. So yeah, I kind of jumped forward a little bit. So he's currently sitting in his winter home over here in the corner beside the interesting relics. I didn't get a chance to get the skids off. I figured that wasn't as big of a pressing job. That's the thing, is I can have a bomb at them. I soaked them all, so I'm hoping the penetrant, I use a old gas and old diesel and mix in the jar, and I use that. I just soak everything. So hopefully, as it soaks, and there's the girls. There you can see them. That can soak away all winter long. Get the job done, and then maybe have a better go. I tried taking a couple off, and they were real tight, and I was scared I was gonna break a bolt. And if I broke one of those bolts, like I had one of the skids half off and it broke, yeah, you gotta imagine under there trying to drill and tap that out. No, I'd far rather let it soak for a while and then have a right good old college go at it next spring. So everything is greased. I had to replace a couple of Zerks grease nipples. So yeah, just basically off the grease nipples, fired grease in them, big time, and then that way it pushes any water that got into the bearings, pushes it all out. Yeah, I just cleaned off any grease and stuff. These are really good motors on these. I don't know what tractors. I think these are the Genesis tractor engines, but yeah, really good engine. Hydraulics seem to be a bit of a weak point, but you can see all of the grease points got overfilled, and I don't care to say that. Even this, like, I don't need this anymore because I'm not doing canola, but I keep it greased, that way it keeps active. Yeah, it got under and greased the linkages down there for the steering. One of the yeah, and I cleaned the radiator out too. It's ghost mode, all the stickers are off now. They were half off, so I just blasted them off. The base of the pedestal has to come out. It's broken. It's broken before, but I gotta take it out and remake it completely, so that'll be to do. But that can come out anytime during the winter. Yeah, these tires are about on their last legs. They're off backhoes, apparently this year, tires with backhoes. So yeah, I went round, absolutely greased everything. Next season, one of the jobs will be replacing the seals on these left arms, because that's leaking. And then there's a diverter block in there that needs done. So, on that note, I'll let you go, because I'm currently over there working on the next video's project. So, Yakida.